In less than 24 hours, the US dollar is going to spike like crazy. And in this video, we're going to try and prepare for it, talk about setups and things to be looking at going into tomorrow's major news announcement, that being NFP or non-farm payroll. Let's get into it. Welcome back everybody to the channel. Today we're talking about the US dollar and what we could potentially expect going into tomorrow's NFP news announcement. Before I get too far, let me remind you guys that the group is currently at a major discount. If you want to join our VIP, we actually just opened up a cool new chat room. We're going to be doing this thing for the next 24 hours, the NFP chat room. For those of you guys who are members, make sure to come chime in. We're going to be dropping ideas and trading the actual release together here live. So we got people dropping their ideas and stuff like that. So shout out to Nico. He's looking at euro dollar. We've got Retain looking at GBPUSD. So we got some things that we're talking about prior to the news. So if you're not already in the Discord and you would like to join, then what you get access to is you can see the trades that are being taken by myself, by our team of traders here at A1 Trading. You can join the chat rooms. Obviously, we've got this kind of hype little group chat going on for NFP, and then much more coaching webinars, educational material. You can download our strategies. We're doing 20% off. So if you want access to the group for a discounted rate, shoot a message to our team member down below in the description if you want to chat with Drew if you have any questions, or you can sign up using the promo code in the description down below. Okay, so here's the thing. We're taking a look at the dollar, and the dollar going into this is going to be a very hot topic, and I'll tell you why. NFP causes the market to spike, whether it's up, down, or all over the place. The point is NFP is a market mover, and it's because it's going to be telling the world a little bit about the economic health of the DXY or the US dollar. Okay, so again, good jobs numbers typically are a positive factor for the US dollar. And what we can kind of see is that since we had some positive sentiment earlier on in this week, we have seen the dollar kind of rebound a little bit from these lows at the bottom of this channel. And this is what I really wanted to talk about going into this end of week concept. We have some very interesting technicals to look at when it comes to the dollar prior to the news. We've been trending higher, but we need something if we're going to trend higher or break back the other direction. And that's why I think that this news is especially interesting, because it could cause some volatility either way. So for example, let's say we have poor jobs numbers or something that's disappointing for dollar bulls, we could potentially see a breakout to the downside, and we could see some continuation patterns form if you're looking to short the dollar. And vice versa, this could be continuation pattern 101, where we start seeing a move higher, and perhaps even maybe next week we start to see a breakout to the long side and we kind of resume that bullish thesis. So the first thing I want you to know before we go into NFP is that we are sitting in a range, and that this catalyst could help us to break out either long or short, and there could be some trade setups following that from there. Now, first of all, I'm going to talk about a pair that I would be interested in potentially shorting if we saw some bullish USD price action. So here's what I said in the chat. Let me just pull this up for a second. So if I just pull this up, so this is an idea that I have. I haven't entered this trade or anything like that, but I'm looking at this idea here. I'm looking for this kind of false breakout that we saw to potentially retest and continue lower. In fact, what we'll do is we'll draw that up on the chart right now so you can kind of get an idea. So the euro dollar is a pair that I want to be short, despite a little bit of optimism from the ceasefire concept in Eastern Europe with Ukraine. We had peace talks in Turkey. That was definitely a good thing for the whole war situation, and also a powerful thing for the euro. We saw a little bit of a rise right on the news of that, and that got us right up into resistance. Now, I actually shorted the euro dollar here, right around here, and I was not able to make a big profit. I was able to make 50 bucks, believe it or not. So $50 richer.
I'm wealthy. I'm rich, really.
On this little mover here, but it actually ended up continuing higher, and I would have, if I didn't move my stops down, I would have taken a loss in this. So I'm not gonna pat myself on the back too much for this, but I did like this area. And now what I like even more, if we zoom in a little bit here, we're seeing before the news some weakness on the euro and some potential strength on the dollar could be here to play out. So let's say that we get strong bullish numbers or bullish things for the US economy. The first thing I'm going to be looking at is probably Euro USD on the short side. So drawing this in, I actually like the idea of this resistance within a resistance zone. Kind of a weird concept, but the idea being here, we had resistance on the 4-hour chart, and now looking at the hourly, a pullback here, if we get it prior to or during the news, could perhaps be sell bias city. So I might be interested in looking at shorting the euro dollar. And in terms of targets, we could kind of scroll out here a little bit and talk about this. So this would be more of a swing trade, but if we talk about this level here, and of course, the previous low of the year, right around 1.0825, let's call it. I don't hate this idea. So for example, let's say we get a short position tool out. And again, remember, this is the scenario where we see strong bullish numbers for the dollar and things continue to be optimistic for USD. I like this idea first. So this is a concept where I'm saying, okay, pullbacks, if they happen, looking for continuation patterns down to this structure. This has been a major area of support previously. So I think that that's kind of a logical first stop if we do continue to see sell-off on a strong USD. But following that, there may even be some better risk to reward trades that we could potentially set up as well. So keeping that stop, the stop is very specific. It's right above the previous high. I'm not messing around with this. If it does decide to kind of do one of these, I'm out of there, right? I'll be on a beach sipping drinks and hanging out and chilling out before I'm, still holding on to a trade like this, right? That's at that point, the trade is no longer there. However, if we, pull back and we see a little bit of consolidation here, I don't mind that. What I'd be interested in also is this idea here. Can we get a full pull down to the bottom of this previous low that we made in this year? So this is the low of the year. If we're headed back to retest that, the risk to reward becomes very attractive. On this one, you're talking about a 4-to-1, right? So you're risking just the move, a potential breakout here. If that happens, you're out. But if you're right and this thing really drops, the 4-to-1 is beautiful. So that's kind of what I'm looking at when I look at Euro USD for potential bullish setups on USD going into tomorrow's news. So I'm watching the euro dollar. That is definitely on my watch list. Now let's talk about something bearish for the USD. And this is just another concept that I'm looking at. So if we see now the pound dollar is what we're looking at, GBPUSD, if we're looking at this and we see very bearish numbers for the US dollar, if we have really not impressive jobs numbers, we see something pulling back and the pound dollar could potentially make a move higher, I like this one for a possible buy. I am bullish on the pound right now. And so when I look at this, I'm saying, okay, yeah, I like this idea. I like the idea of looking for long setups. And we can actually zoom in here a little bit and see what's going on price action wise. We've got this level in mind. And this is kind of my major spot of, kind of a breakout spot. So if I start targeting some levels, let's say, for example, we go into the news and we have this big move prior to, we get a little bit of pullback consolidation. Yeah, I like this. I like potentially seeing the pound dollar making a rally up to 1.3174. And I think beyond, there are some also levels that we could talk about. So for example, you also have this area here, right around 1.32. So if we see weakness on the dollar and this acts to continue to push the pound higher, a couple setups that I like are looking at this. So again, I'm looking for a breakout. First step is looking for a break of this resistance and then looking for pullbacks and continuations. You can do something similar to what we just did with the euro dollar, and we could start talking about potential long ideas, something like this, right? Now, this is not the best risk to reward. This is of course like a 1-to-1, 1.5-to-1. This is not the best one, but if we were to see a true break and we are able to get above this high as well, that's where you start getting into your 2-to-1, you start getting your 3-to-1, that sort of stuff. So I like this for a possible trade to the long side. But again, first thing we need to see is weakness, perhaps on the spike, as we are probably going to consolidate prior to the move. If that happens, we get a spike to the upside on pound dollar, meaning weak USD news, something not impressive. Maybe there's some short-term momentum trades that we could look at, looking at pound dollar to the long side, with targets at 1.32 being our primary, goal for a short-term move. We've been seeing some higher lows. We've seen some strength on the GBP pairs, or GBPUSD. So I do like this, and this is something that I'm watching for. So two main setups here going into the news. Again, guys, we are trading the actual news spike together. We're going to be doing this in the chat room. It's going to be really fun. This is something that we just opened up. So this NFP chat room, for those of you guys who are already members, jump in there, chime in. Let's get some conversations going and see what's going on with the pairs that we're watching. So again, euro dollar and pound dollar are kind of my main two focuses going into this news release. And of course, if I take any trades, you will see them right there with full breakdowns and everything involved with them. So with that said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Don't forget to get in on the group before the discount ends. 20% off using the code down below in the description. And if you have any questions, feel free to send Drew a message. The link is down in the description for his Telegram. Thanks for watching. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching today's video. There are more videos available on our channel here and here, so go ahead and click into that for some more free trading content. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you back next time.